This podcast is brought to you by ArtSpire, presented by the Pump House Regional Arts Center to attract, engage, and connect artists and the community through an art fair and sale on Saturday, June 12th. Information is at artspire.thepumphouse.org. We talked with the multi-instrumentalist phenom Keller Williams. We chat getting back on tour, recording an album over the phone, humor, what people should expect from an upcoming show at La Crosse's Pearl Street Brewery, and what is next for this nationally touring musician. You can find more conversations on our website, lacrosselocal.com. I'm Amy.
And I'm Brent.
And this is La Crosse Local.
That's a good name.
What is that?
I said your name is Dude Bra on your Zoom account.
Dude Bra? Is it Dude Bra?
Yeah.
Sweet. I forgot. I guess that's something I came up with a long time ago.
Well, that works. So I'm under assumption, just looking on your website, you're basically just getting back on tour, right? After the break during COVID?
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to do something like 22 shows between August and December from last year. So I've definitely been able to, do some form of work, whether it be from a huge distance, online stuff. But definitely, I think, it's like every weekend coming up is something's happening. So it's definitely getting back to the normal way of having to think, which is completely different from the last year.
Yeah, because how many dates do you normally do in 2019, perhaps?
I think it was around 100, between 100 and 110, I think. So it was a big change, obviously, to drop off to very few. And I, be honest with you, it was really nice. I kind of leaned into it. But getting back into, the every weekend kind of mentality, which is important.
Speaking of that, looking back at kind of your catalog of albums, it seems like every year or two, it seems like you're releasing, something new. And you kind of mentioned there during the pandemic. Has the pandemic affected that output? Or is it, as you said, is it something that has kind of been embraced? Has it helped your creativity at all?
Interestingly enough, I released a record called Cell that was everything I recorded into my cell phone, and I actually took that voice memo recording and I sent it to this very talented electronic musician producer named Bobby West, who goes by the name E.153, and that's EROTHYME, E.153. And he took these tracks and he edited them and created these amazing tracks out of it. And then there's a few of them where I sang my vocals, through the cell phone and sent him these voice memo recordings and put it all together. And it came out with this really interesting record called Cell. And I think there's 8 tracks, and I think about 6 of them were complete improvs and done on the back porch. So sometimes you could hear the bugs and the birds and things, and it's really quite interesting. And that was very much inspired due to the fact I didn't really have a whole lot of material, so I was just doing improvs. It was a very interesting way to record and come up with material, was just making stuff up. And because it's called Cell, I literally phoned it in.
Yay! Yeah.
that joke worked.
Perfect.
At least on you.
So traditionally, though, in years past, was a lot of music worked out on the road? Based on your shows, it seems like there's a lot of improvisation. So I'm just kind of wondering, is that how it was normally done before you got in the studio?
Yeah. Usually songs were completely worked up, and I could knock out a record if need be in like a week. If I'm just coming in hot off a bunch of shows playing all these songs, you kind of know where they go, you know how they go, and you have a vision. Recently I've been actually making up songs and coming in and recording them and then abandoning them and then forgetting them and then revisiting them, and it's just they're all new all over again, and it's a really interesting way to go about it. And that's what I've been doing the past couple, maybe 2 months. I guess I've been working on a project here at my hometown studio, the Wally Cleaver's recording studio in Fredericksburg, Virginia, with the engineer Jeff Covert. And we've done a lot of projects together. And so it's completely two different records from Cell, and then what this one is going to be, which hopefully is going to be released on vinyl no later than November is what my goal is.
Nice. So just kind of revisiting your catalog over, the last couple of days, how does humor play into your songwriting? And is it just something that comes naturally when you're kind of just up there?
Well, lately it's been more about entertainment of myself.
Locally in La Crosse, Wisconsin, and I believe you played at Pearl Street Brewery before in the past, you'll be performing Friday, June 4th at Pearl Street Brewery out in the parking lot. For someone who, may not know your music or your shows specifically, what can people expect?
Well, they can expect hopefully to be entertained, and hopefully they can join me on a journey to some kind of distant musical and visual world where they can forget about the outside problems, as they are all going to be there after the show's over. Really, honestly, they can just plan on seeing kind of a head bobbing acoustic dance music with tongue-in-cheek lyrics, possible cover songs that they might recognize but done in a different way. They might see some happy, hairy people dance around a little bit. It's possible. It's very possible. But hopefully they can expect a positive experience. That's kind of what I go for.
Absolutely. So you kind of mentioned a few sort of things coming out here, but what are you excited for in 2021, even 2022? Anything?
I'm just excited for the festival world, and also a little nervous about it as well. The larger festivals with the multiple thousands of folks, it's going to be different knowing, what the world is like and what we've been through. And it seems like it's just rocketing back. And, so I'm excited, but a little nervous about it, going to be a little skeptical, but, there's that adrenaline and that wonder and curiosity of how it's going to be. But excited to have that energy again on stage with a lot of people in front of you. That's a really beautiful part of my life that I cherish, that I've definitely missed.
If people want to find out more, do they just head over to kellerwilliams.net, or is there any particular social media that you're pretty active on?
Well, I think the Facebook, Instagram, and I think the .net, I think houses it all, and you can go there and decide where you want to go from there and use that as a hub, or just hang out and live there if you like. There's room for everybody.
La Crosse Local Podcast is a production of River Travel Media. Do you have an interview idea you'd like to share with us? Message us on Facebook at La Crosse Local. Find out more about us at lacrosselocal.com, and you can subscribe to the La Crosse Local Podcast on your favorite podcast app. If you like us, rate us 5 stars. We appreciate it.